Well, Dr. Johanna Wood, OFC Executive Member, FIFA Council Member, and of course, New Zealand Football President. What a significant milestone this is. The draw now out for the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027 Oceania Qualifiers.
Yes, it certainly is a milestone, because you never quite know what the pathway is going to be until that draw occurs. So now all our nations know, and Oceania know, what the pathway will be, what their journey might have to be. They can start preparing, as Dame Sarai said, they can play with courage and joy and passion so that they can actually be there on the world stage in 2027. And remember too that we have 1.5 slots, so it's actually an opportunity for 2 nations to be represented on that world stage. And then looking forward, we're actually going to increase it to 48 teams, so there'll be an even greater opportunity for our Oceania members to be part of that.
OFC's invested a lot in women's football since the All-in Women's Football Strategy was developed and launched in 2021. And what impetus, momentum was gained by Oceania co-hosting the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2023 right here in New Zealand, of course with Australia?
One of the things we said in our bid with Australia is that this wasn't just New Zealand hosting the Women's World Cup 2023, it was an Oceania bid, and therefore when we looked at what might be the legacy for the World Cup, we looked at things that we could do to support our Pacific neighbours and sisters in that as well. So it's really important that we've had, like I said, we've got all-female match officials, which is probably was unheard of a number of years ago, and so we've got some strides in all that. We've seen increased participation numbers across the Pacific, whether that's with our little girls or with our women. So we've got that. We've seen an increase in the Champions League, so we've gone from 5 teams to 8 teams. We're seeing a lot more women's games on FIFA Plus streamed. So that's getting, the touches in the Pacific is greater than I think we ever dreamed of. And so those are just a few of the things that I can think of at the top of my head.
And of course, we've just seen just this week Samoa for the 2nd straight year qualifying for a FIFA World Cup. The under-16 girls finishing runner-up to New Zealand and qualifying for the World Cup. And of course, 2 teams at World Cups now at youth level, and we've seen that at the under-19s as well for the under-20 World Cup, so Fiji, for example, last year. So are you seeing increased depth and strength throughout the Pacific in women's football?
Yes, we're certainly seeing that. I think one of the things that I'm conscious of as President of New Zealand Football is that we can't assume that we will be this region's, this confederation's representative on the world stage. We're being challenged, we've got people knocking at our heels, and we need to all step up and make sure that our development is in place. I think it's really important that we don't take our eye off the ball, because if we do take our eye off the ball, for want of a better phrase, then the women's development will get lost. So we have to make sure that we continue to develop and fund aspects of the women's games, whether that is on the field, off the field with coaches and referees, or with, referees are on the field, but whether they're on the field or not. What about our governance? We need to ensure that we have women that are part of the decision-making process around the tables. We need to make sure that we enable women to be visible and seen, because if a young woman sees another woman in a position, or coaching a national team, or refereeing on the FIFA stage, whatever it might be, president of the MA, then they say, I can do that. So we need to make sure that we continue to fund and develop our women in this space. So we've got the gender equity playbook. So, it would do us all good to sit down, have a look at that, and just say, how are we doing in this women's space? Or are we just doing it for tournaments? So I think we need to keep ourselves honest.